Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Astro Decode on the Maison Jupiter channel. I'm Julie, and I'm here with my astrologer friend, Meg. Hey, Meg, how are you? And welcome to the show.
I'm very good. Excited to be here and talk about Jupiter in Taurus. This is going to be a fun show.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm very excited as well. And we did have a really cool conversation regarding Jupiter and Taurus before going live. So can't wait to share that with you. Um, So the subject for today, yes, it's going to be, let's go back to here. It's going to be Jupiter entering the sign of Taurus. So Jupiter being the great benefactor in astrology, bringing some blessings, bringing opportunities, and also possibility for more abundance in all, let's say, sides of life. So whenever it changes signs, it means that it probably enters a new house for your own birth chart, depending on your rising sign. So we're going to take a look at that. But before we do so, I don't know if you guys watched yesterday's show on the Rumble channel. We had the Woo in review, and we did speak a lot about getting into your own personal power. And I know it did trigger a lot of people. So we're going to talk about that, and especially triggers regarding money and financial abundance. So I think we got a good subject for today. And also, if you do enjoy the content over here, thank you so much for supporting us and allowing us to reach 10,000 subscribers. That's amazing. And don't forget, if you enjoyed the content over here, don't forget to give this video a like. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow even more and produce some more exclusive content for you guys. Also, today I'm not on the right channel, of course, because I always mess up with that. So let's bring it back here. Today, you were doing the Beyond Astro on Beyond Mystic. I did watch it live. It was a really great episode. So if you guys would like to know more about the astrology, the day-to-day astrology for this week coming up, I support you, encourage you to go watch it. You did talk about the May 1st portal of energy. Can you share just
really a big day?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So May 1st, as I'm sure many of us know out there, but some may not, it's a sacred, ancient, Celtic, pagan, earth-based holiday called Beltane every May 1st. And it's a celebration of the spring and the summertime energies coming in. So that's every May 1st. And on May 1st, it's not just Beltane, but we're also having a really cool astrological aspect called a Mercury cazimi, which is when one of the planets is conjunct the sun. And Mercury is going to be exactly conjunct the sun at 11 degrees of Taurus. So Mercury cazimis, Mercury conjunct the sun, is really special and auspicious for receiving downloads and insights and divine information. So check out the Beyond Astro I just did to get the whole scoop on it. So we got that going on. And Pluto goes retrograde that day. So it's a big jam-packed day energetically on May 1st.
Wow. And also May 1st is the solar return of one of our witchy sisters, the amazing Janine.
Wow.
So when you were talking about that, I'm like,
oh
wow,
my gosh.
Powerful day for that solar return.
Yeah.
Can't wait to look into that even more. So blessings, solar return blessings to you, Janine. And also, we're going to have a beautiful new candle for one of you lucky supporters here. You can let us know your questions if you have any questions regarding astrology or Jupiter and Taurus related questions. In the super chats, and we'll answer one or two questions towards the end of the show. And one of you lucky supporters with the super chats will get this beautiful candle from Yoga Elena, the amazing Elena. And she's just launched her new collection, the Beyond Mystic Element Candle Collection. So this one is the air candle. So the scent is Magnolia. It's my favorite one. So this is the one we'll be giving out today. And the crystal that's infused in there is calcite emerald. So really connected to the heart chakra, opening up to even more abundance, because we'll be talking about abundance today.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's it for that. Let's dive in our
Yeah.
main subject for today. So, okay, let's start with when we talk about, let's say, Jupiter coming into Taurus, regarding
Mhm.
especially people that do spiritual work. What do you think? What does it mean for you, Meg? If you can elaborate a little bit on that, because I know a lot of people in the community here are either in the healing arts or interested in some form of spirituality.
Well, I think there's a lot that I could say. I'll try to Mercury retrograde help me say everything I want to say with this. So, number one, this is definitely about our relationship to abundance, to money, to the financial system, to resources, and any kind of wounds or triggers or blocks we have around that are going to be really highlighted at this time. So I think that's a really big thing that we'll talk more about here. And I also feel like Jupiter is the planet that rules the archetype of the spiritual teacher or the guide, or even if you're a holistic, more type of practitioner, you may be looked at as a guide or a mentor to certain people that are your clients. And Taurus is the sign of values and things that are actually of worth and valuable. And I really feel like with Jupiter being in Taurus, it's not just our relationship with abundance, but also as a practitioner, is what you're doing actually of value? Where do you get the best feedback? Where could you maybe improve on? And what do you maybe want to incorporate more of that is of value during these very intense times of transition for us to be of the best possible service to the world and our clients? So those are the two main things I'm feeling right away when you say that. What do you think, Julie?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And let's just talk a little bit for, okay, so let's say if you do have, let's say, some profession that's related to spirituality or healing or
Mhm.
esoteric arts, then we were talking right before recording the show that we are probably the people that have the most wounds connected to
Mm,
getting money in return to our what we're offering as a service,
yeah.
right? So I feel like we'll be called to heal a lot of those scarcity wounds. Can we call it no, maybe not scarcity wounds, but maybe the feeling uncomfortable by getting paid or receiving material wealth, material abundance as a return for spiritual work or spiritual service. So, do you agree with that? Did you experience it personally, Meg? Can you share with us?
Yeah, so I definitely have experienced that. And to be totally honest with you guys, I still experience that a little bit from past life things that have happened where I feel like I have to be kind of perfect or that, I have to give more than maybe I need to make up for, times that we've been burned, had our heads chopped off for doing this kind of work. And most of us that are, spiritual guides or healers working out of the matrix in the spiritual field, or even if you're not having a specific job like that, but you carry that energy in whatever line of work that you're in, a lot of us are old souls that have been persecuted, tortured, murdered for these things on this planet as well as other planets as well. I can feel spirit saying right now. So this is definitely at this time where we are coming out of the dark arts foundation of society that we are in, where it's been all about taking all of our power away. We're stepping back into abundance. The age of Aquarius is going to be equality and freedom and financial freedom and abundance for all. I really believe that, and the astrology shows that. The Western astrology shows that. So it's really important for us to look at those scarcity wounds, as you said, Julie. And I also feel like another word that we could maybe use for that as well is like witch wounds. That's kind of like a trendy word as well. Those wounds that we have from when we've been killed for doing our gifts, and that's traumatizing.
Yeah. So definitely those witch wounds connect with the throat chakra, so expressing your truth, being able to do your work out there, express like who you truly are. And I know I had that personally very much. Having my North Node conjunct my Chiron in my 10th house
Mm.
in Gemini. So like the throat chakra, having a lot of healing to do with that. I was so scared of, let's say, talking about spirituality in public. I didn't know why it was happening. Now I do, because I do understand that it came from past lives. But I had like an unconscious fear that I was going to die if I did share information publicly. We
Could
have
you
a
hear ocean? Yeah.
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 So I think that's kind of one of the big witch wounds. And the other one being relating. Yeah, another
Yeah. He
validation here.
wants to say hi. Yeah. Sorry, Julie.
No problem. Hey,
He's
Ocean.
confirming. He's confirming everything you're saying because sorry to interrupt, but the cats were also burned and thrown out of windows as well as the natural healers.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
didn't know
So
that.
yeah.
Oh,
So we have a very special connection to cats because they went through what we also went through.
wow. And it's also on the tarot card of the Queen of Wands. She has a cat, the symbol for her intuition and her
Wow.
psychic gifts. So, wow, that's so crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the other one being living in material abundance, financial abundance, because you're putting your gift out there, whatever it is, and receiving, being okay with receiving financial abundance for it. So we're
Yeah.
all having a lot of work to do. And if I look at the show from last night, I looked at the comments on Rumble and I'm like, okay, we do have a lot of work to do, healing those financial triggers, especially in the spiritual community.
Mm-hmm.
And as probably most of us will be going on a tangent of using their own skills, either starting small businesses or offering services of any kind, we'll all need to market ourselves. So it's not a bad thing when we need to promote ourselves. It doesn't feel comfortable for sure, but we do have a lot of work to do in that field.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, me too. I'm still working on it. It's not easy. I don't like to self promote. I especially when I started that, like I had a lot of difficulty doing promotions. But I think, especially in the spiritual community, we should look at money as being an energy tool of exchange, nothing more than that. So if you put a lot of energy into something and you put yourself out there and it's your life purpose, then it's only normal that some form of energy is supposed to counterbalance and come back into your life. And yes, Ronnie, our time is valuable. Yes, so relevant. And it's funny because Taurus rules with values and also investing some form of energy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and energy can be money, it can be time, as you said, Ronnie, but also your energy. So whether you're investing either your time, your energy, or your money into something, it should come back to you in some shape or form. If
Yeah.
not, then there's a disbalance in the universe. And you're creating more disbalance if you're not accepting the return of that investment.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
I I'm gonna share my slide with you that I prepared for Jupiter and Taurus, and then we can have a discussion around that if you agree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. So Jupiter will transit the sign of Taurus for a year. So starting May 16 of 2023. So in about 2 weeks, right after Mercury goes direct on the 14th. So Jupiter will bless us with some new gifts, some new opportunities that are Taurus related. And of course, it depends what house it's going to enter for you specifically regarding your rising sign. But from May 2023 to May 2024, we'll be all, let's say, experiencing a new form of abundance opportunities that are going to come across, because Jupiter will now be in the sign of Taurus after leaving the sign of Aries. So when it was in Aries, it was kind of pushing us to start new things that go outside our comfort zone. It's more of a fast paced sign that asks of us to initiate something, take action into something whenever Jupiter is in Aries. And then Jupiter in Taurus, it's taking the next step to expansion, being more aware of material reality and building material abundance of oh, and some form of legacy for the future. So Taurus is all about creating some form of legacy. It's about long-term building. It's about also building something for your children, your future grandchildren. So having something that's going to stand the test of time is also Taurus. So with Jupiter and Taurus, I think we'll be asked to be more patient. I wrote there here, being more patient. Jupiter in Aries is like, oh, you create something, boom, it's here. It's quick manifestation. Jupiter in Taurus, it's like working really hard to get the results and the abundance that you want. And also, as I said, being patient. And also, if we look at mundane astrology, and I'm sorry for the water noise in the background. Yes, Mercury retrograde. Jupiter brings higher prices in whatever sign archetype it's connected, it's transiting. So Jupiter will bring inflation and prices to Taurus themes. So yes, I think more, let's say, food will be more expensive probably in the next year, in the next coming year. And I'm thinking about even more organic foods will be harder to get your hands on, maybe higher priced even more than now, because the higher vibration is Taurus is natural food, organic food. So maybe it's going to be harder to find something that's not manipulated. Can I say that?
Mm.
Also, Jupiter, Taurus rules any kind of physical assets or tangible assets that you can hold in your hands. So, precious metals, I'm thinking, will probably get a raise in price, especially silver, because the moon connecting with silver is exalted in the sign of Taurus. So, I'm
Mm.
silver will probably gain a lot of value during this transit. Also, Taurus rules land. And last time you reminded me that Taurus also rules crystals. So maybe
Mhm.
we could see an inflation in prices of our lovely crystals. Also, ruling wood, natural resources in general, construction materials. So anything that's like a prime natural material that's going to help you build something else is Taurus related.
Yeah.
Did I miss something? Do you want to add anything here?
I feel like, yeah, that's all amazing. And also, Taurus is things that are of high quality and
Right.
even luxury and value. So even things like nice art pieces or
Mm.
books, old books, like things that you wouldn't think that people would care about right now as an investment, but looking forward over the next few years, let's say books started to get censored, for example. There would be some books that right now that are like 20, $30 that could be going for hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars. So I feel like I'm a Taurus rising, so I can think about stuff like this. Sometimes my mind thinks like, what's the valuable stuff that I can invest in that isn't just gold or silver or like crystals, which Taurus rules all that. But I think books are going to be a really big thing, and art pieces as well. Like, and it doesn't have to be crazy, like medieval art pieces, but just even somebody like Alex Gray. If you guys know Alex Gray, he's a spiritual psychedelic artist. Pieces like that. Like once someone like Alex Gray isn't here anymore, then the value of that art goes insane.
Such a good point. And also, Taurus in more like ancestral astrology rules history. So maybe history books or old books that talk about, let's say, arts or anything that's
Yeah.
relating to maybe hidden history also will be really hard to get your hands on. And like I feel that very much too about the books. I've been starting to buy paperback copies of the books I like because I'm afraid they will disappear at some point, and I love books. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Someone said, "Do I have a water garden because of the Lindy here?" No, I didn't. It's just where I'm temporarily located right now. I'm near the sun pump in my house. So sorry, and it's the spring, so there's a lot of water there. But I will try to fix that situation hopefully soon. So okay, continuing on Jupiter and Taurus. So I feel like it's going to be about investing in smart ways for the future, creating some form of generational wealth, tangible assets. So, and I feel this trend very much with the people that are buying generational houses also for their whole family, or investing in some form of real estate project or property that's owned by a lot of family members. That's, for me, that's very Jupiter and Taurus like. So, and also getting together as a family, which is also Taurus, really makes sense to me. Working hard to get results. Yeah, we said that. Attracting abundance by being generous with your material wealth. So I have a feeling that Jupiter is kind of the generous planet. Being in Taurus for a year, it's like if you help other people with, it doesn't have to be money, it can be, but it can be just like food, it could be sharing something that you have materially speaking that they don't. I feel like this type of action will be highly rewarded with even more abundance for yourself. Um, Also, one of the things I really like about it is finding a spiritual approach to material stuff and day-to-day life. I feel like we've been told that spirituality was something that's was very far from the material world, so it creates kind of dichotomy that you can be spiritual and living in the material world and having nice things. So I feel like we will all work on integrating both, Jupiter being a very spiritual planet and Taurus being very here and now in the material world. So integrating all that together and finding maybe more purpose in small day-to-day simple everyday life stuff, and finding more purpose also. And as you said, also quality, I think it's a very important point. Like making sure you're buying stuff that has good intention, that's good quality, um, like being spiritual with the things you buy, making sure it's from a good source, and if it's handmade, if it's like someone that you know that's producing something, or I feel like that's going to be of a greater value, of course. And lastly, I wrote the earth energy because Taurus is an earth sign, taming the whoop, I made a mistake here, over promising and sometimes not realistic Jupiter. So sometimes Jupiter is kind of larger than life energy that wants to do everything at once, and sometimes it's a bit too much, and you realize that you're kind of over promising some stuff sometimes with Jupiter, especially in Aries. But in Taurus, I feel like it will be a better balance because this earth energy will maybe slow down the manifestation of Jupiter, but also it's going to be more realistic type of thinking. What do you think about all that, Meg? And did you think about something else to add to the slide? If not, we can pull some cards if you don't.
Yeah, we can pull some cards. I feel like this that all totally resonated with me. I feel like this Jupiter ingress into Taurus, entering into Taurus, is really strong and powerful, especially during these times, because Jupiter expands whatever sign he's in, like you were
Mhm.
talking about the qualities of that sign. And Taurus is also what is natural ways, natural living. And as we're entering the age of Aquarius, and we're really seeing the dark side of Aquarius play out first before we can get into the really big light side, transhumanism is a huge part of that. and the dismantling of the divine masculine and the divine feminine to confuse genders. I mean, this is just one aspect of it. Like all these things that are not natural, not the natural way. So I think a really big part of Jupiter and Taurus is going to be, we're going to feel even stronger than we already have, especially in the past few years with everything we've been going through on the world stage, to be connected to what is natural. We're just going to be feeling more naturally like, I want to go outside more. I want to eat that good food. I don't want to eat that junk food. I don't want to eat that GMO, or I want to maybe change the way I eat, or I want to maybe start going not just to the forest, but also to my local body of water, like different kinds of earthly elemental places. Our relationship with nature and what is natural is so, so important. And I think there's going to be a strong collective need for stability and grounding with everything that we've got going on, especially with the intense eclipses we're having this year and the North Node going into Aries. And it's like all this Aries and Taurus at the same time, which is really interesting because Aries is very like action oriented and conflict, but Taurus just wants to chill out and enjoy life. Yeah. So we may feel that inner struggle, some of us. I know I do sometimes lately, like wanting to fight for something, but also not wanting to do anything and just chill out and just like eat some good food, and enjoy the
Yeah, it's kind of a conflictual, let's say, Taurus season this year with eclipse season, Mercury retrograde. Yeah, it's like, make some changes, but don't at the same time look at the past, but like do take action in the other way. So yeah. And also, like we said previously, Taurus season is supposed to be like the chilling season. So it's not like such a chill energy right now with all the changes, eclipse season.
Totally. Yeah. And also, I think it's really interesting that Jupiter is going to conjunct the North Node, right, in Taurus. And that's going to happen. Do I have the date when that's going to happen? I think it's May 30th is the exact date when Jupiter conjuncts the North Node, and it's going to be at a Gemini degree of 3 degrees in Taurus. And when I saw that in my charts earlier today, I immediately got a download that this is about, Gemini degree, according to Nicholas Stojanovic's degree theory, rules things being doubled or 2 different things, right? And it kind of feels like these 2 different timeline paths we're on, of the unnatural path, the transhuman path, and the natural path. So it's like the North Node in Taurus is wanting us conjunct Jupiter to align our beliefs, Jupiter align what we hold as value with that to what is natural rather than the transhuman path. Like the astrology is literally showing us, this is why it's so powerful, what to be focusing on and what timeline to be taking.
Yeah. Wow, that's so interesting. And also, let's not forget that Jupiter, yes, it's connected to material abundance, but it's connected firstly with purpose, finding purpose. And your true values, your integrity, what you're willing to fight for, what you believe in. So I feel like this double timeline has also to do with the choices you're going to decide to make for yourself. If you're embarking on a journey that's going to be true to yourself, to your values, to your purpose, to your life purpose, or do you want to keep doing stuff just because you're scared to not make money, let's just say? Because a North Node can be very, how can we say that? Very driven to succeed at something, to get the material rewards. But Jupiter is there to say, no. And especially in Taurus, there's no shortcut to get there. You have to be true to yourself. So very interesting. Farmer says here, Taurus sun here, all about regenerating nature on my farm, living in it, eat and sharing the food.
I love that.
Yeah, that's very Taurus. I love that.
Yeah. Tauruses are so awesome. They're just like so connected to nature usually.
Yeah.
That kind of way.
Yeah, that's so true. And usually, like, they like to make things themselves, like cook food and
Yeah,
do stuff themselves. And usually there's a lot of love into it. So, love you, Tauruses.
yeah,
Wow. Okay. Um, would you like to pull cards maybe on,
sure.
let's say, people from this community
Mm-hmm.
and the type of, let's say, the change that we'll have to make towards money, let's say. How is it going to impact our relationship to money?
Okay, how is
This
this
trend.
Jupiter in Taurus going to affect our relationship to money? Okay, one just flew out onto the ground.
That's a good sign.
Just flew out. Trine and sextile symbiosis.
Yep.
Symbiosis. So I'm really feeling right away like what do we love to do? What do you love to do? Because we didn't come here to suffer. That's also Taurus. Tauruses do not like being uncomfortable, right? So it's like Taurus teaches us we didn't come here to suffer. We didn't come here to live in the matrix and be in depression every day and basically a slave to the system. We came here to be putting our time into symbiosis, like what comes naturally to us, what makes us feel good. So I think that's a really cool card that just fell out.
And I like that the trine is also like a very positive aspect of receiving support and help.
Mm.
So I feel like this transit will probably be felt like an very easy way to receive more material wealth for all the people doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. So I love these cards, by the way. This is the Star Codes Astro by Heather Roan Robbins. So we've also got the first house card and Gemini, which the first house of Aries, which is self and being seen and putting ourselves out there, is similar to Gemini. Oops, because it's about speaking, also putting ourselves out there. So I think this is speaking our value. And Julie and I were actually saying that right before the show, how
Yeah.
it can be really uncomfortable, right? Like something, that I started doing like actually 2.5 years ago was no longer censoring myself in my personal life. When I'm at the grocery store or when I'm out, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like everywhere I go, people are kind of looking at me like, what does she do? Like, I feel like maybe I look like a witch. I don't know. But people look at me kind of funny. And when they ask me what I do, I used to say, oh, I'm self-employed. I have my own thing. But now I just straight up say I'm an astrologer and a musician.
I love that.
And usually they're like, whoa, you're an astrologer? And I'm like, yeah.
You know what? Like
That,
I started doing that too, but I feel like I get into really long conversations following that.
yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, yeah, you have to feel it out. But even just saying that, as simple as that, it's owning your value, right? Gemini communicating. So I feel like what the cards are saying is how can we embrace this Jupiter and Taurus? Taurus also rules the throat in
So
astrology.
true. The voice and the throat. Yes.
Using our voice and saying out loud, to others, Julie, I do think so. You're an amazing astrologer. And I love when you talk about the astrology, using my throat to say that. I'm honored to do the astrology with you in these videos on Maison Jupiter and Beyond Mystic, and saying that out loud. And then like getting the feedback from each other. It like grows our values.
Wow.
So
Well,
I
first of all,
think,
thank you, and I feel the same.
yes.
Very honored to be close to a high priestess of astrology. And Lorianne is saying, Meg, love your incredible astrology knowledge. Yes,
Oh, thank
she
you.
does have a lot of amazing astrology knowledge. And so true, I kind of forgot about how Taurus was connected to the throat chakra and
Yeah.
the voice.
And
So
singing too, like chanting, right?
yeah, and
But also like abundance chants. There's lots of abundance chants.
so
Yeah.
cool. And like I feel also saying mantras to really heal your relationship to wealth, health, abundance. And Jupiter is also connected to truth.
Yeah.
So expressing your truth. will be, I feel like, a big subject, and very it's correlating a lot with the cards you just pulled.
For sure.
Okay, Susan is saying here, I feel like we need to be very careful about our words and expectations for the future. When we talk about expecting food shortages, not having books, we are drawing that to us. Yeah, we are, but also let me know what you think about that, Meg. I feel like astrology is talking about archetypes and talking about a lot of possibilities. So for me, not just talking about the possibilities that are just the positive, for me, it's kind of that would be not expressing my truth, because
Yeah.
astrology is like there's good and bad if you like to view it that way, in a very polarized way, but there's a lot of things that could come up with those alignments. So I feel like to be really transparent, I need to express a lot of possibilities. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I'm with you, Susan. I don't like, I'm a Taurus rising. I don't want a food shortage. I don't want there to be a book shortage at all. And I do believe that if we say it over and over again, that is drawing it to us. But also, as an astrologer looking at the charts, I have to say what I feel, even if it's kind of uncomfortable. And especially with Uranus and Taurus right now, at the same time as Jupiter and Taurus, the North Node in Taurus, Uranus is unpredictability and instability. And Uranus does not like to be in Taurus, because Taurus is the most grounded and stable sign. So
True.
that's why ever since 2018, it's felt so like unstable, because Uranus is in Taurus. So the food supply is unstable. The whole supplies of all physical resources are unstable. And it's not going to be like that forever. And maybe, books and food won't have crazy shortages, but definitely we're already seeing it. I don't know about you guys, but particularly over here in Europe, where I've been spending most of my time, there's grocery stores that have empty shelves of food, fruit, and vegetables.
So it's already
So
happening. It's no more a
it's
prediction.
already happening. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
already happening. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think you can use those potential predictions, because of course there's many timelines, and we decide collectively what kind of timeline we want to hop on. But
Mhm.
I feel like the best thing you can do is prepare for the worst and expect the best. So
Yeah.
prepare for the worst would be preparing just in case,
Mhm.
the prices are higher, but also manifesting that are going to be okay.
Yeah. I pulled some bonus cards for the question that you asked, Julie, about how we can embrace the Jupiter and Taurus. And check this out. This is always hard for me to hold these and like try to show myself too. But
I know.
the
I struggle.
Aries, yeah, Aries, the Sun, and Sagittarius. Two fire signs and the Sun. And the fire signs are really about being in your value and just being who you are. Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo know exactly who they are. They know exactly what they're passionate about, and they don't let anybody hold them back from them. So, and the sun is the sun. That's light and truth and love. So I'm really feeling like the cards are saying, radiate your value, say it out loud. Taurus is also our appearance and beauty. Maybe we want to start dressing in a different way, or adding new colors or a different way of appearance to get us more comfortable into stepping into our values. How we live.
Wow. Yeah, I love that. I love that. And you also got before the first house, and now you have Aries. So it seems like it's a lot of
Yeah.
embodied energy.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense also with Taurus, which is ruling the material world and also our values. So I love that. Wow.
Very cool.
Uh, thank you so much. Eighth House Alchemy sings. So much love for you both. Love this show so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Um, what do you think if we go through the 12 signs?
Yeah, we can do that for sure.
I didn't really prepare for it, but
I
let's
have
do
it
it.
written down. I have I have it
Okay,
written down. Yeah,
cool. Okay, I'll share my my wheel with you guys. Just a little
awesome.
second.
And write down in the chat, you guys, what your sun and rising is, so we can see all the different suns and risings that we've got going on here in the
Yeah.
community. And even in the comments, if you're not watching the live video, it's always cool to see. I like seeing what everybody's combinations are.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And let us know if you already feel the upcoming energy of Jupiter about to enter, let's say, a different sign, because it's going to have a very different vibration. And Jupiter will stay there for a whole year. So the beginning degrees when it enters a new sign are usually very telling of offering new blessings, new opportunities, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think? Let's start with Aries rising or Aries sun.
Yeah. So this is, so
And
we're
I'm
going to,
gonna chart. Sorry
all good.
for while you talk. I'm gonna change it for the day where Jupiter enters
Yeah,
Taurus.
awesome. So with this Jupiter going into Taurus, we're looking at how each of the sun and rising signs are being blessed by the benefic Jupiter, and where we're also going to see profound growth. Because as Julie said, Jupiter is not just abundance and luck and optimism, but it's also growth and expansion and our beliefs. So we're getting activated in all of those ways with Jupiter entering new areas of our charts. So for Aries, Sun, and risings, Jupiter in Taurus is going to be in your second house, which is really cool because the second house in astrology is the house of Taurus. So this is particularly, I would say, positive and lucky for you guys. There's definitely more money and resources coming in, Aries, Suns, and risings. This is really just put it out there what you want and it will come. There's not major blocks for you guys financially. Anything that has to do with what is natural, food, like Julie said, the precious metals, crystals, though, and I'm not a financial expert, but with the astrology, those are very abundant areas for you guys right now, Aries, Sun, and risings. And connecting to nature would bring huge growth. So if you've never done something like maybe camping, which you guys, if you're in Aries, you've probably done very adventurous things, but camping or doing wilderness type of things, that'll bring huge growth to you. Doing things in nature, climbing a mountain, or doing things in nature that you maybe never done before will bring huge growth. And the second house is also your self-care and your beauty and the arts. So you may want to be doing more self-care. You may notice that when you go get a massage, you are more abundant. Clients call you out of nowhere. When you start giving yourself love and appreciation and comfort, Taurus, abundance comes, support comes. So really cool for you guys, Aries, Suns, and risings. That's a really cool place to have that.
Yeah, I love that. And I'll just add to the amazing description you just gave us that the upcoming eclipse in the sign of Scorpio that's going to be on May 5th will highlight what you need to let go of and being able to receive even more abundance in your second house for the 1 year long transit of Jupiter entering your second house,
Yeah.
of finding more ways to, let's say, more revenue, more abundance. So I feel like this eclipse will be very pivotal for you to release a lot of, let's say, abundance and witch wounds that we were talking about.
Very cool.
Okay, let's switch to Taurus Sun or Taurus Rising.
Taurus, Sun, and Rising. You guys have just been getting hit so intensely with everything going on with the eclipse seasons of the past, year and a half. The eclipses this year, the North Node in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus, now Jupiter in Taurus. So this is, I would say, the most lucky, if you will, if we can use that word, for the Tauruses. Okay. And for anybody that has Taurus as your Jupiter sign, if you have Jupiter in Taurus in your birth chart, you're having a Jupiter return, which we have every 12 years. So people with Jupiter in Taurus, Taurus suns and risings, this is lucky ducky times for you for sure. Huge year of growth and expansion as this is activating the 12th house, the first house with Jupiter in the first house. And this is the house of Aries, the areas of life that Aries rules. So self, being seen, being spotlighted, popularity. Okay, so there's something that we're starting to be seen for, Tauruses. There's a huge opportunity for putting ourselves out there with our gifts, and it is just going to be so natural. And this is the time of natural alignment for us to be doing it. The world needs our energy, that Mother Earth, divine feminine vibe that we have to keep people grounded while there's so much transhumanism all around us, so many things playing out around us. Our energy is very much needed. Not that it's the most important or special, but it's just very needed during these times because we hold a grounding influence. You know, someone like Janine, I think she was talking about it in the show last night. She's a Taurus, and she was talking about how people used to just have readings with her, not even necessarily for the cards, but just because they felt so calmed around her.
Yeah.
And that made me laugh really hard because she does have a very just calming energy.
You do too. You do too, because you're Taurus rising.
Yeah.
Like when you did consultations with me, I felt like I was like held with this like very peaceful, loving, nurturing energy. That's very Taurus. So you have that for sure.
Well, thank you. That always makes me laugh because really deep down inside, I'm a crazy Scorpio. But
I love the combination.
Yeah, it's a funny combination. But yeah, so Tauruses, this is putting yourself out there, amazing luck, growth, and expansion. And also great time to focus on your appearance and how you show up. You know, we've been kind of programmed that to look good or dress in good quality clothes. In spirituality, we have this program that I believe the dark arts has put in there that we need to dress like shit, excuse my language, and shower once a week and not wear makeup and not look good because it's not spiritual. It's like, no, when you show up how you feel good, if it makes you feel good to wear, you know, not nice quality clothes and no makeup, then amazing. But if it makes you feel good to wear nicer clothes, to, you know, wear certain colors, do your hair a certain way, that is going to attract abundance and value. So
I have to say, I have my my Venus in Libra in my second house of Taurus, and I do love nice things. And I'm spiritual, so
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So beauty, beauty world, fashion, Taurus suns and risings, something cool to look into. What kind of styles make you feel good and confident when you wear it? And yeah, also want to mention that for Taurus suns and risings, when we've got Jupiter close to our ascendant or in the first house, we have to watch out for overeating and overindulging. Okay.
Yeah.
So our appetite may be bigger than it usually is. And we're like just eating, you know, and we just got to watch out for that.
You know what? Like we just filmed the Astro for the month of May, so astrology and tarot predictions. And I said that also, especially also if you have your Jupiter in your sixth house or your appetite. So apparently a lot of people have experiencing a lot of like overindulging in food and stuff. So we'll get to that.
Wow.
Okay, so let's go to Gemini. Gemini, sun or rising?
Yeah, so Gemini, suns and risings, this Jupiter and Taurus is happening in your 12th house. So this is a really interesting energy for you guys because Gemini, suns and risings usually are very social and wanting to be out in the community and out in the world. And the 12th house rules behind the scenes and retreat and relaxation. So Gemini, suns and risings, if you've been feeling kind of like not totally yourself lately and like you actually want to be in solitude more or having some more alone time or less social time, that's actually in alignment with the natural energies. So you can have great growth, right? Jupiter can be growth through solitude, through being in sacred spaces where you feel really spiritually connected, whether that's in your home, whether that's at sacred sites. You could be doing definitely travel to sacred sites with this transit for sure. That would be really cool for you to do. Your spiritual connection, there's great gifts coming through, blessings with your spiritual connection, your connection with your guides, your own intuition, your creativity. If you're artistic or creative in any way, it's going to be on fire for the next year. And yeah, it's a different energy for you guys, but I'm liking it for the Gemini suns and risings.
Oops, I muted myself. The water garden is back at us. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. let's go and switch to Cancer.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's funny because just side note, my mom is Gemini rising, and she's been looking at a lot of spiritual retreats to go through,
Oh,
and we're
wow.
going to one this weekend. So yes, very
That's
relevant.
exciting. So cool.
So Cancer, Sun and rising.
Yeah, Cancer, Sun, and Risings, this Jupiter and Taurus is happening in your 11th house, the house of Aquarius. So you guys are being blessed in the areas of friendship, networking, groups, community, your goals and aspirations. There can be really great growth, Cancer, Suns, and Risings, in your community, in your place, in your community, and with your friendships. And really like what you have to offer to the community as well. I find that with the 11th house. So really good time for you to be going to events, to be networking, to be doing group work. If you are a practitioner in any sort of way, I notice a lot of people that are Cancer, Suns, or Risings, they do a lot of like one-on-one work or even like behind the scenes work too. Good to do some group work as well. If you've never done group offerings, it would be a really good time for that in your work or anything that you offer out to the world. And you're going to be blessed in your friendships. There's going to be even more bonding and growth in your friendships, getting really close to your friends. And which I know you
Finding
guys
your
are.
tribe.
What's
Sorry,
that?
I was gonna say finding your tribe.
Finding your tribe, exactly. That's a huge blessing, huge, huge blessing. Like-minded people, like Julie said, Aquarius. So, and you're also going to be blessed and receiving growth in the area of your goals. The 11th house can be our goals. So being really attuned to what actually are your goals from your heart and maybe not necessarily your ego. You know, our ego can sometimes have goals like, I want to be famous, but it could just be because we've been programmed our whole lives to be famous because that's what's projected in our face every day. When actually maybe a real goal is, I want to be, you know, a healer in my community that people can depend on, and I'm really good at my craft. You know, different kind of goals that'll become very clear for you guys. Cancer, Suns, and Rising. So really cool for you that it's the Aquarius house getting activated.
I love that. Deborah saying, "Oh my God, Meg, you are spot on with the Taurus rising, especially the hunger and overindulgence." Thank you, Deborah. Okay, let's go to Leo, my rising sign.
Yay, Leo risings. This is really cool for you guys. You guys are very lucky and blessed because this Jupiter in Taurus is happening in the 10th house of career and public recognition and our legacy. So you guys, I'm always saying in consultations when somebody is a Leo sun or rising, or even moon or stellium north node, that we need you guys right now so much because we've got so much Aquarius energy going on with Pluto in Aquarius and the transit we just had of Saturn in Aquarius. And Aquarius is the opposite sign to Leo. And the Leos can be feeling a little bit like weird right now, I notice. If you're not, that's amazing. But we don't have a lot in fire signs. You know, actually, when Jupiter goes into Taurus, none of the outer planets will be in a fire sign until 2025.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
So the Leos in particular, I think may be feeling kind of the weirdest of like, where's the fun in life? Where's the silliness? Where's the playfulness? Where's the party? When
Yeah,
are we going to have some fun? Is this the end of the world? Like, what's
yeah.
going on? And you guys are naturally fun and confident and creative and shiny, right? Your ruler is the sun. So we need you guys, Leo, suns, and risings, to be in good positions in your career and your job and to be shining because you have a healing energy of the light and the sun and Christ consciousness that you share with the world. You guys have a very important role right now to be holding the light for us as Leos. So with Jupiter in your 10th house with this Jupiter and Taurus transit, your career is being blessed. There's going to be great growth opportunities that may make you feel uncomfortable, that may make you feel like, I don't think I'm ready for that yet. But you are ready for that because the universe wouldn't be giving that to you if you weren't ready for that. So go for it if it feels right, if it makes your heart expand, even if it makes you a little bit nervous, opportunities coming up with work, go for it. And any work changes that you guys want to do, if you want to be self-independent, self-employed, go for it. This is literally the best time for you to be doing so. And I do also want to mention that you guys are having Pluto in your 7th house right now, okay? And Pluto is squaring the Jupiter in Taurus and the North Node. And this is going to be people, and I'm not trying to be fear-based, just saying people are going to be triggered at how like bomb your energy is going to be over the next year. Okay. So people that have not yet stepped into their value, that have not yet maybe left the matrix, they're going to be triggered. And these are people that maybe they're friends, maybe they're people you work with, people that are acquaintances, or maybe even your love relationship. Okay, 7th house. So we want to be aware of that it is triggering, you know, when someone is doing really well that we're close with, and maybe we're not doing so well career-wise, right? So that's something natural that can just come up, and not trying to be fear-based, just good to be aware of. If you're feeling funny energy from people close to you, thinking, are they, you know, jealous of me right now, or trying to put me down because they're not up leveling yet, you can have open conversations. I'm sure it'll all be good for the most part. There's just a little bit of a challenge there with the people in your life, watching you guys shine, which it is triggering. We're in such a Aquarian time right now, which is so much about the mind, and we need to step back into our hearts. Leo rules the heart, and Leos can be triggering sometimes because they're naturally confident and in their hearts, but don't let that phase you. Keep shining, and you guys are really awesome.
Wow, yes, that that rings true to me. And
Yeah.
yes, I feel that already, because if you guys didn't watch the show from last night on Rumble, the Woon review with Elena, we kind of have a similar group of friends, and she was saying she had a hard time, let's say, getting into her own power and success, because she felt a lot of, I don't think she said jealousy, but like we were struggling together, figuring out, like, sometimes you're just so proud of like the person you've become and your achievements, but there's certain people around you that you're not supposed to share it with, because they can be happy for you. So I kind of learned that in the past year, that sometimes I have to shut my mouth and not be too proud, but at the same time, it's like, it's so hard. But yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
And
agree?
that's a really good point, Julie. And there's a difference between people, you know, naturally being triggered, right? And this is a natural thing, Taurus, it's natural, right? If Julie, you're doing super well, and I'm in a place where everything is all fucked up in my life, if I've had, you know, a divorce and lost my job, I am going to get triggered by the fact that you're doing well. So there's a difference between us being able to have a conversation about it and me saying, Julie, I am jealous of you. I'm feeling upset. Like it, you know, it triggers me seeing how well you're doing. There's a difference between open and honest conversation and relationship, and somebody not wanting to talk about it and sending weird energy your way, maybe intentionally, and maybe intentionally trying to sabotage or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I feel like there's so much Plutonian energy right now in the air, with Pluto squaring the nodes for the whole year also. And the eclipse in Scorpio that Pluto rules. So I feel like there's not, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's that's feeling a lot of envy, jealousy, and especially if you moved on,
yeah,
let's say, out of the matrix and you're self-actualized, maybe you are also feeling that. Let me know
yeah,
in the chat if you resonate with that.
yeah.
Okay, let's switch to Virgo.
Virgo, sun, and risings. This lucky, very lucky for you guys as well. Jupiter and Taurus is happening in your 9th house, the house of Jupiter and Sagittarius. So actually, I made a little bit of a brain fart there. Also very lucky for Gemini suns and risings, because Jupiter traditionally rules Pisces as well, and the 12th
So
house,
true. Yes.
right? So we got to keep that in mind, that Jupiter technically rules 12th house and 9th house.
Yeah.
So for Virgo suns and risings, this is amazing time for manifestation, which Jupiter rules in astrology, and this is the house of Jupiter getting activated. So any kind of manifestation work, Virgo suns and risings, go for it. I don't know why I'm seeing like Joe Dispenza's work. Spirit is showing me that. People like that, it would be good to listen to their work, their meditations, to be doing meditation, to be doing visualization, meditation and work. You guys literally can just say it out loud or visualize it and it will come. That's how powerful this energy is.
It's funny. I said in the Astro, you'll be at the right place at the right time all year.
Oh my God, that is so cool, Virgo suns and risings, and you guys deserve it because you guys are all about being of service, and you guys have this energy of purity and wanting to be of service. And sometimes, we make fun of the Virgos because they can be really criticizing and perfectionistic in the shadow side. But what I've personally learned through my astrological practice is that Virgos are like that because they want the energy to be clean. They want purity, and they are literally beings of service. So that's why, Virgos may go, Meg, you have I have a sister that's a triple Virgo, sun, moon, and rising.
Wow.
So every time I see my sister, there's usually, Meg, what's wrong with your hair? Meg, what's on your shirt? And it's like, okay, this is really annoying Virgo, but it's coming from a place of wanting to be of service that, yeah, if I'm wearing a shirt that something's wrong with it, I'm wearing something that actually doesn't have a clean energy. It's kind of like feng shui a little bit. Right?
It's the purifying energy. We want to make sure like everything is pure and perfect. So it's the way of the initiate, right?
Yeah. So yeah, my view on Virgos has really changed recently.
Yeah.
So I actually really like it. It's really cool. And yeah, this is really good for you guys because sometimes you guys can be really hard on yourselves, right? And the ninth house is the house of optimism and positivity. So you guys may be feeling more lighter and optimistic all of a sudden. It's not just luck and abundance and manifestation, but actually even feeling good and light. So that's amazing for you guys. Also, it's the ninth house, so amazing time for travel of any sort over the course of the next year. You guys can have magical travels and really good time for higher learning, for doing courses, for even maybe stepping into the role of being a teacher or a guide more. As I said, doing belief work. And if any of you Virgo suns or risings are writers, you may get something published or publish something over the course of the next year because the ninth house rules publishing. So really excited for you guys to see what comes up.
It's funny because I've been thinking about publishing my Oracle deck, and it's been on the back burner for so long. So I'm like, okay, this year is going to be the year for that.
That's going to be amazing. Yeah.
Okay, can't wait. Yes. Okay, you just gave me the motivation to go ahead with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Libra rising, Libra sun.
Libra rising and sun. This Jupiter in Taurus transit is happening in your 8th house, the house of Scorpio. Dun, dun, dun. But this is a good thing because Scorpio, the opposite sign of Taurus, they're both the money and financial access. So Libras as well as the Aries are going to be, this is very much about financial resources. For the Aries with the 2nd house activated, it's more the money you make for yourself and the values of what you do, your day-to-day work. Whereas for Libra, sun and risings, this is going to be literal like gifts of money or inheritances or returns on investments as well. So you can receive some nice things coming through in terms of finances and resources. That's always really nice to hear. And also being blessed in the areas of intimacy and rebirth, all the things that Scorpio rules in astrology, joint resources. So this is also a powerful time, Libra suns and risings, to be doing self-work of some sort. Spirit is showing me like those programs or spiritual courses that go on for like a year, those things that are like a year long. This would be amazing for you guys to do because that is very Scorpionic. It's kind of intense to commit to doing something for a whole year or for 6 months. But when you put the time in and you put the energy into it, whether it's a self-love course or learning about something, personality wise, or a psychology course. Spirit's showing me Jordan Peterson and how he has like a lot of online courses you can do. Self-development, self-work, things like that will be highly rewarding for you. And the abundance of Jupiter is not just through money and financial means, but anything in life. So the, gifts of knowing thyself, that's very Scorpionic, and the 8th house, and healing and moving past your shadows and your blocks to be in your greatest version. So very much about transformation and some gifts coming forward, Libra, suns and risings. So very exciting.
And you made me remember that we have an upcoming course in the Academy, the Beyond Mystic Academy, that's going to be all about clearing, let's say, karmic sexual wounds. So doing,
Wow.
and it's going to be towards women, directed towards women. So it's kind of the high priestess blue flame energy type of work. So I think this will be perfect for you, Libra and Libra rising.
That is amazing.
And before we go to the next line, I just saw a question here. And I do get a lot of emails about oracle decks that we're using or books that we're suggesting. So I think we should do, and I honestly don't have time to answer all of you guys, so I apologize for it. But I think we should do an Astro Decode about our astrology books and our oracle decks. What do you think?
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Okay, we'll do that, Jackie, next time. So stay tuned.
Amazing.
Okay.
Very cool.
Let's go to the beautiful Scorpios.
Scorpio, sun and risings. Okay, this is an interesting one because Jupiter in Taurus, this transit is happening in our 7th house. And the 7th house is the areas of life that Libra rules: committed relationship, love relationship, partnerships, business partners, people that we work with in business, clients, also wealthy people, wealthy clients. This is our connections with others. Libra rules others. So Scorpio, suns and risings, this is about being blessed in all of our relationships and our partnerships with friends, with business colleagues, with our lovers. Okay. So this is our relationship going even deeper with our lovers, which is really exciting. And I was also kind of getting an intuitive message for the Scorpio suns and risings when I was preparing for this that I'd like to share, which is I really feel like Jupiter in our 7th house, we're going to be gifted an opportunity of growth in being able to trust people and actually open up and actually be like really vulnerable, which is very hard for Scorpios, and to share things about ourselves, to share our secrets. Because one of the things Scorpio suns and risings is we have a challenge is, if you had the chance to watch Elena's, for example, what was the show called last night? Welcome to the Woo, or Woo in Review.
Woo in Review, yes.
Check out the Woo in Review from last night, April 25th. If you haven't already, my Scorpio sister Elena was talking about, us Scorpios, we have very intense lives and very intense things that we go through that can be quite dark. And sometimes when we go through that and we share it with people, sometimes it's like too intense for people and they tell us that that's too intense or you're dark and you're bad, Yeah. So this is where, with Jupiter being in our 7th house, it's a safe time for the people around us with the connections that we have and the new connections that we're making to open up. And maybe going, I've never talked about this with anyone before, this thing that I did in the past that I kind of want to get off my chest. Would you be open to talking about that with me? That will be super healing for us, Scorpio suns and rising. So I feel like huge growth can come through that, through being open and vulnerable with the people in our lives, for asking for support. Okay. And also just getting blessed with our relationships in every aspect. So very cool for Scorpio suns and risings.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie. She's saying I watched it and felt very connected to her story. Yes.
Mhm.
So if you do have Scorpio, well, we all have Scorpio somewhere in our chart, but if you do have strong Scorpio, I'm sure you're gonna resonate a lot with her sharing. And it
Yeah.
takes a lot of courage also to share personal stuff like that.
Yeah.
And before we move on, I just want to add that last time that Jupiter entered my seventh house, it was in December of 2021. And
Mm.
that's when I started doing videos with JC. That's when JC came into my life as a mentor, as a guide, as someone that would support me. So, yeah, so I think you're going to have some form of Jupiterian individual that will show up in your life and help you in some kind of way.
So cool.
So cool. Yes. Okay, let's switch to
Okay,
Sagittarius.
Saggies. So, this is interesting for the Sagittarius because Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So, you guys will definitely feel it, around the time that Jupiter actually changes signs. You may feel, really energized or maybe more tired. You're going to feel that actual change more than the rest of us because this is your planetary ruler of your sun sign or rising sign. But specifically for you guys, this Jupiter in Taurus is happening in the sixth house, which is the areas of life that Virgo rules. So you are being blessed, Sagittariuses, in that your areas of day-to-day work, in your work. And also, I was feeling really strongly before we did the video, there's going to be major lucky work opportunities coming forward for you guys. And there's also a message coming through about similar to the Cancers who have their 11th house activated, go to networking events. There's people for you to meet. There's new job opportunities. I feel like you guys, Sagittarius, suns and risings, may start doing more than one thing for some reason. That's just like my intuition, where it's juggling different tasks and not just, I go do this one job every day, but now I have 2 or 3 revenue streams that I do. And this is the day I work on this, and this is the time I work on this. So it's about your schedule and your routine and getting organized, which I know for some Sagittarius suns and risings, you guys like to be free, right? So getting grounded and organized and being in a routine can seem like kind of annoying. And we're all different. Maybe routines aren't best for you. But I would say for most Sagittariuses, this is a good time to create some sort of routine, and you can actually be blessed and abundant and have a lot of growth by doing so. This is also, did you want to say something,
Oh,
Julie?
sorry, I thought you were done. It's also finding some more purpose in your work, right? So it can be opportunities to feel more self-actualized, find more purpose in what you do on a daily basis. And I know I have a Sag moon and I struggle with routine so much. It's like my body doesn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also, the house of health and wellness. So you guys being blessed in actually your health, your day-to-day health, and also maybe finding a cool new holistic practitioner, or it would be good to do some kind of detox. If you've never done a detox or a cleanse before, that could go very effortlessly, I feel like, with Jupiter in your sixth house. And you can find really interesting natural doctors or practitioners. And even like a routine of, you know what, once a year, I'm going to do this little, heavy metal detox cleanse. Even if it's
Mhm.
something like that, that creates growth and stability in your life.
Yeah.
The sixth house is also your office space. So making sure that's clean. Also feng shui. Feng shui would be very good for you guys. So whenever it is, when is it that Elena's going to release the feng shui course?
Probably fall season, I'm
Okay,
guessing.
cool.
Hoping it's going to be before that. But if you want a sneak peek, go watch the wound review. We did speak about 4 of the corners, how to make sure it's harmonized according to feng shui.
Nice. Yeah. So feng shui, really good for you guys. And it's about stability, grounded, and the day-to-day routine. So nice for you Sagis out there.
I love it. Okay, let's switch to. And before we switch to Capricorn, Also, Sagittarius rules rich foods. So whenever it enters your sixth house, your diet, just make sure you don't overindulge into going to the restaurant every night, for example. You're going to need some form of like balance because probably you're going to want to indulge, and that's okay. But
Yeah,
try to find some balance.
that's a really good point.
Okay,
Yeah.
caps.
So Capricorn, Sun, and risings. I am really liking this Jupiter transit for you because Jupiter is going to be in your fifth house, the house of Leo. And I just feel like, yay, you guys need this because after the past, how many years was it that Pluto was in Capricorn?
Like 20 something year,
Oh
20.
my God. Okay. Yeah. Capricorns, you have been hit so hard with Pluto in Capricorn. And yes, Pluto is going to retrograde back into Capricorn a couple times over the next year and a half, but we are technically in the Pluto in Aquarius transit. So the whole heaviness of Pluto in Capricorn from 2008 to 2023 in March, this is over. So the fifth house, why I love this so much, it's fun and enjoying life and play and celebration. So over the course of the next year with Jupiter in your fifth house, this is wanting to have fun and fun opportunities, celebrations coming forward, parties, enjoying life, which you guys deserve after having Pluto in your sign for the past so many years. And also because in general, you guys are workaholics and very hard workers and sometimes have an issue with actually having fun and just enjoying yourself. So this is really about over the course of the next year, embrace fun, embrace silliness, embrace going out to somewhere with friends or family and just being fully present with that and turning the phone off. Okay. Like
Yeah.
that can be really hard for Capricorn suns and risings because they always want to be present with their work, you know?
Oh, yeah. I dated a
So,
lot of Capricorns.
yeah. So, really fun, positive for you guys. This is also the house of children. So, you can be really connecting to your inner child. You can be feeling and remembering things from your childhood that you used to love to do that you maybe start doing again. And being around the vibration of children, if you have children or ground children, would be really good for you at this time. And the fifth house is also creativity and being in the spotlight. So I feel like this is a really lucky house to have Jupiter in for any projects you want to put out there, any new things you want to do, any creative projects. This is really nice. And also, if all of that isn't enough, it's also the house of romance. So if you are a single Capricorn sun or rising, this is a fantastic time to be going into the dating scene and putting yourself out there that way.
Wow, I love that for Capricorns.
Mhm.
Seems like a big change of energy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch to Aquarius.
Okay.
Aquarius.
Aquarius, Sun, and risings. This Jupiter and Taurus transit is happening in your fourth house of Cancer. So you are being blessed and receiving major growth in the areas of life that Cancer rules, which is home, family, foundation, our private life, and our ancestors. So, really good time as well. We're talking feng shui, really good time to be focusing on the home, Aquarius, how the home feels. Are there changes that you want to make to the home? With Jupiter transiting in this house, this is where you can just, pick a certain paint color and it looks fantastic on the home. Or you think, I'm going to go to the store today and see if there's any cool furniture. And you find like the most amazing things you've ever even dreamed of having in your home. This is really lucky for anything having to do with home renovations, changing the energy in the home, also with your family. Really happy for you guys, Aquarius, suns, and risings. This is where the family relationships improve. Okay. So wherever Jupiter is, it's like an energy of improvement as well. And so, a lot of us have been going through challenges with people in our life based on differences of opinion. And this is where, for you guys, Aquarius, suns, and risings, it's going to become lighter in the home front with your family. People that you may have had quarrels with or disagreements, it's going to become lighter. So it's going to be easier. So I'm really excited and happy for you guys with that. And also a really big possible growth period in looking at your ancestors, doing ancestral healing can be really positive for you guys, and you can receive huge gems and gifts of wisdom, Jupiter, and knowledge from your ancestors and connecting to your ancestors. And Spirit is actually showing me that, around Samhain, Halloween, I always do an ancestors altar. But they're actually showing me, Aquarius suns and risings, that you could have an ancestors altar for the whole next year.
That's crazy you say that. That's a download I had.
Seriously?
That they have to have an altar at home or maybe change it. So yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
So that's definitely, if Julie and I are both getting that, this is a really strong message for you guys to be creating an altar. So whether that's just, any kind of altar, you can put any intention to an altar, go for it. And if you don't know anything about your ancestors and you want to connect with them, you can make an ancestors altar by putting pictures of your ancestors, putting offerings, a candle, crystals. So yeah, let us know, Aquarius, suns and risings, how you feel about that. That's very magical.
Wow, I love it. I love the downloads too. Okay, let's go to the last one, Pisces, and stay tuned because we're going to answer one of your questions right after from the super chats. Okay, so going to Pisces sun and Pisces rising.
Awesome. So Pisces sun and rising, this Jupiter and Taurus transit is happening in your third house, the third house of Gemini. So you guys are being blessed and receiving growth in the areas of communication, your friendships, your local community and neighborhood, also social media. Okay, it can really be good for putting your business out there on social media. That can really expand. New clients and connections can be coming in like crazy when we have Jupiter in the third house. And this is also one of, I would say, the lighter houses to be having activated, one of the really nice houses to be having activated with Jupiter. I don't think there's necessarily a bad house you can even have Jupiter in. There's obviously some things that he might expand because he's the planet of expansion. But the third house is a nice light and social house. So for Pisces suns and risings, you guys are very magical, sensitive, sweet souls that are just like magical creatures. And you guys may be feeling more social, more wanting to go out in your community and actually being around people. So if you are feeling that you're not going crazy, it's definitely because Jupiter is in your third house. And there's amazing blessings and growth to be had by being around people in your local community or your friendships. So definitely very cool for you guys, and really good opportunities for short distance travel as well. Road trips, maybe even getting a new car, things having to do with cars, because that can be the third house as well.
Wow, yes. And having had Jupiter kind of recently in my third house, it expands also the projects you're working on. So expect to be very, very busy. Okay, so just before we answer one of your questions, okay, I have to stop sharing that just a second. I have trouble multitasking with this Mercury retrograde. I always do, but it's more now. Okay, if you'd like to book a one-on-one consultation with the amazing Meg, Meg is really great at explaining your birth chart in really simple terms and also letting you know what energies are going to affect your birth chart in the upcoming year. That's the 1 year personal forecast appointment you can book with her. And also, if you'd like to know more about your life mission, your life purpose, and all the different aspects ruled by your birth chart, which is everything basically: ideal place of living, ideal relationships, personality trait. And I apologize for the water sound in the background again. That's going to be the birth chart astrology reading. So if you'd like to book with her, you can do so right now on maisonjupiter.com. And also don't forget to enter Beyond Mystic in one word at checkout to get 10% off. And I think you just added some more availabilities, didn't you?
I did add a few. I don't know if they're still up there, but yeah, I did try adding
yeah, I got a few emails about that. Okay, so do it quickly if you'd like to book, because it's very rare that she has openings quite soon. So that's it for that. And also we Okay, that's not what I wanted to show. We just recorded the new Astro Woo for the month of May. So if you'd like to get even more details, so we just looked at Jupiter in Taurus for all 12 signs. But if you'd like to get the general predictions for the whole month of May for the 12 signs, you'll be looking at the Astro Woo of May, and that's going to be on the Beyond Mystic channel. Hold on, I'm just gonna let you give you a little visual right here. Here we are. So that's going to be the Astro Woo, and Janine is giving also tarot readings for each one of the zodiac signs, and I'm doing the astrology. So the astrology, I'm looking at the May 5th eclipse in Scorpio for all 12 signs, looking at Jupiter entering Taurus, and also the new moon that we're going to have in Taurus on May 19th. Janine's pulling for all the 12 zodiac signs. So that's going to be available on pay-per-view for individual episodes for your own rising or sun sign, probably today or tomorrow, and it's already available for the IAP members if you are subscribed to beyondmystic.net. So that's what I just wanted to say before we pick a question. Oh, and I have a lot of comments like that. So Meg, just letting you know, your hair does look awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. And I got some questions for, not questions, but actually comments. Oh no, that's not the one I wanted to show. Ruth is saying, I want to buy your Oracle deck, Julie, do it. I like knowing the authors of the desk. Yes, I will work on that. And Libby is saying, yes, Julie, for your own Oracle deck success. Okay, I got the message. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so let's look at, first of all, Andrea's question right here. So Andrea is saying, love you, beautiful sisters. Thank you so much, Andrea, for your support. We are all so blessed with your wisdom and insight. My birthday is May 7th, so she's a Sag rising, Pisces moon. What can those of us with birthdays so close to eclipse expect? So I'm going to share my chart in just a second. I cannot share like more than one attachment, which is really weird. Okay, so Andrea, you said you are a Sag rising.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna place my wheel there. So Sag rising, and birthday is on May 7th. So I'm just gonna change my. What am I doing? Just a moment while I figure out what I'm doing.
It's gonna be super powerful, Andrea. It's time to buckle up. You've got just over a week left of no eclipse solar return. So buckle up. That's the first thing I have to say to you, for sure.
Wow. Yes. Okay. So there's like a twofold question here. So I just pulled the chart for May 7th, so the day of Andrea's birthday. So happy birthday in advance, Andrea. And Sag rising, so right here. And she's a Pisces moon, so Pisces is right here in her 4th house. So what can those of us with birthdays so close to the eclipse expect? So, well, first of all, this is kind of, well, depending on the exact time of your solar return, this is kind of going to be the solar return chart for your birthday. So when the sun goes back to the exact degree it was at the moment of your birth, and you're going to have the sun conjunct Uranus for your solar return. So, and probably for a few years, your sun was close to Uranus for your solar return chart. So it means a lot of changes. Also, what else? We have Jupiter that's going to enter your 6th house. So probably changes of workplace, work projects, maybe more work projects, maybe more also revenues that you're going to receive with work. And the upcoming eclipse is going to be in your 12th house. So I think a lot of letting go of a lot of past life traumas, past life wounds, you'll be letting go of a lot of those. And I'm getting also regarding money. Would you like to pull a card, Andrea?
Yeah, I was just about to do that, Julie. We're reading each other's minds.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's also, 2 days after that full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So I would say embrace surrender to the transformations and the changes that want to come forward, Andrea.
Yes.
Okay, let's see here. Ascendant entrance, how we show up to the world, how we're seen. It's safe to be yourself. I'm feeling spirit say that. It's safe to be totally who you are on the inside, also on the outside. And Aries. Aries, again, act. I keep getting this card almost every time I use these cards lately.
Wow.
So Aries rules the first house, which the ascendant is the beginning of the first house in astrology. So it's about self, honoring yourself. And, you know, the Scorpio full moon eclipse on your solar return, there's going to be things that are going to get purged and let go, but it is for your highest good, and surrender to it because it's about empowerment. And you are powerful. Chiron, heal. So, Andrea, this would be a good year to have some sort of support, whether that is through a therapist or an energy healing practitioner or a mystic, or going to a dance class. I don't know why Spirit's showing me that. Nia, I really love Nia, N-I-A. It's like healing through dance. And this is, you know, snake is one of the symbols for Scorpio. So that eclipse so close to your birthday, this is huge transformations and letting go of what no longer serves, and you can handle it.
Wow. And also, I love that. Also, she says, what can those of us with birthdays so close to eclipse expect? And to answer your question, Andrea, it means that you're going to have an eclipse solar return. So solar return is kind of the chart that's going to influence the whole year ahead until your next birthday. So meaning that it's going to be karmic, a lot of karmic changes. Eclipses rule karma because the nodes are involved in the equation. So a lot of karmic events. So that could be major life events happening around eclipse birthdays. So let's say change of jobs, change of relationships, change of place. That could also be really positive. Like a lot of people have weddings or get, let's say, pregnant with, I don't know what your age range, but I'm just giving a lot of possibilities over there. So it's like major life events usually happen around eclipses, and you have an eclipse solar return. It means that there's going to be an action-packed year with the Aries card, right?
Lots of action.
Lots of action. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope it helps, Andrea. And so what did I wanted to say here? I had something in mind and I completely forgot. So okay, I'm just gonna share my screen again, my other screen. Okay, just a second. Wow, I'm really struggling today. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay, so yes, this is what I wanted to do. I'm going to just share really quickly the schedule for the rest of the week. So today we just had the Beyond Astro episode with Meg that was on the Beyond Mystics YouTube. So if you haven't seen it, it's a really good one. Go and watch it. And then we filmed the Astro, that's done. And today, later at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have the Beyond the News. That's going to be on beyondmystic.net with Jean-Claude and Janine. Tomorrow at noon with Kristen on the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel, we're going to have another Beyond Entertainment episode, and she's going to look at the Bieber couple. So that's probably going to be very interesting. And then at 1 p.m. Eastern, we have the famous Pick a Card with Sophie. So that's always really good. It's like a personal reading, but you choose the pile that resonates the most and you get a reading with Sophie. So that's kind of amazing. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern on the Rumble channel, we'll have the War Correspondent, and I'll be there with Janine and JC. And on Friday, we'll have the Beyond Harmony on the YouTube, Beyond Mystic YouTube channel with Elena. And lastly, Beyond Crypto Woo for the month of May, that's going to be with Janine and JC. So so please, if you did enjoy this content, please give us a like, subscribe to the Maison Jupiter channel. And thank you so much, Meg, for going through the 12 signs. You're amazing.
Thank you. You're amazing too.
Thank you. And I'm sure you guys really enjoyed it because it's like getting a personal reading from Meg. And if you'd like to ask even more personal questions, you can, of course, book with her on maisonjupiter.com. So thank you so much for staying with us and for chatting with us in the chat. We appreciate you so much. Let us know in the comments if you like this episode, if you like this format, and we'll see you very soon. Au revoir.
Love you guys. Bye.
Love you guys.